Okay, here we go. This is my first event. There's my paints all set up. This is at the end of my exhibition of the art. The people will drive through here. They'll pick out a squirt gun full of different colored paints, as you can see. You can see they got some really cool colors in here. And the squirt guns are ready to go. And then they drive up, and there's the art piece we're gonna be doing. You know what's cool about this one is everybody's equal. No one's a better artist than anybody else. You might be able to put a little more shape and design in it, but you're no better than anybody else. There's Betty. Now we're coming down to the art exhibition. Some of these are, I think, some of the greatest art pieces ever done on Earth. But then I did them. This one here is from Valdosta State in Georgia. I hope you can see this. I'm in the shade, so I'm going to come a little closer and let you see the art piece, see what the art piece looks like. They did a great job on this one. This is just one day too. No, this is 2 days. We did it in 2 days, but I like that one up there. The one girl drew the hamburger and the drink and the french fries, and then another girl came along and put an ice cream cone next to it, and I thought that was really cool. But this one has a lot in it. It's really beautiful. Then we keep going down here. You can see I got an exhibition of them up along here. There's quite a few of them. I got about 14 up. And this one here is special too. This one here, I was up in Philadelphia when the Pope was there, so we did Hands of Hope for the Pope. And this one here, it's kind of special because it does have a baby's footprint on it. And what I would do is, you couldn't write on it. No writing on this. This is just art. And we did about 12 of these, 12 or 13 of them. And I went down to, after it was over with, I went down to the Vatican Embassy in Washington, D.C., and I gave it to them. But I left a couple out. I found a couple later on that I had forgotten, and this is one of them. I gave it to Sister Maria, and she was going to send them to the Pope. Did I ever hear back? No, I didn't think I would. Now this one here, this is another one. This one here we did in Huntington Junior College in Huntington, West Virginia. Now, part of the story of this one is I couldn't find a college to do an art piece at. I was in Huntington, and then I thought, well, let's try the junior college, and it worked out. It worked out good. And this is one of the only ones where the news media, the TV cameras came down and did a story about me and not the idea. And it kind of shocked me because I really wanted the idea out there. This one here is another one. This one is Chattanooga, Tennessee. We did this one on the street. This was an art piece we did on the street. They were having an art festival down in the art district down there. So I set up with Nancy, my old band, and we did some incredible art right on the street. A lot of white. There's a lot of individualism in here. Not too much behind some people, except for that, which is really amazing. Imagine that on a t-shirt. Wouldn't that look good? And a swimming pool. I don't get too many swimming pools built on them. And look at the lady up here. She's down and out. She's had her last beer. So that one there is on the street. This one here is a local piece. This one's the Dunedin art piece. If you from Dunedin, you might have drawn on this piece. This was done on the street outside of a bar up there, and it's really amazing. What I like about this one is that most of the white is gone. The background color is gone. And that's when you really know you got a great art piece, is when the background color is gone. Listen to them birds singing for me. Well, that's really cool. Look at that. Wow. This got some really cool stuff into it. Umbrella, the beach scene. You know, you got to have one of those in Florida. And a bird. I like this kind of stuff where they just put colors together and they mix the colors together. And look at that wild red head over there. I always liked that one time. Now we're going over to another one. This one is Gulfport, Mississippi. No, Gulfport, Florida. This is done at a cool arts festival that they did down there. And I set up on the street. I bootlegged. I just came up and said, I'm doing it. And they said, okay. So what are they going to do? I don't charge nobody. I'm just letting people have fun being creative. And this one here got pretty full. It's a smaller piece than the other ones, but it's still pretty good. I like some of that right there. This is really good. You always get some good, you get some middle. This one here had some scribblers down the bottom, so you always like that. There's one right here. Look at that scribbler, boy. Went right over top of it. And the parents are freaking out. Oh, no. I said, go ahead. The bottom's the kids. Now this one here is an older one. This one here is from 1995. I started this one on the road, and I would let people who would take me in, and I'd be at their house, or I'd have dinner with them, or some places, families, and we did this art piece. And this was a long time ago. This has some of my art on it. I'm a crazy artist. I do some crazy stuff. And this one here has that crazy face on it. And it's pretty wild. If you look at it, there's some wild stuff into it. And then the guy next to it, he got coming out of his pipe, I put something into it. It's pretty wild. It's not bad. For 25 years old, it's in pretty good shape. Now we're coming around to a piece that's absolutely one of my most emotional pieces that I've ever done. This is on a black cloth. Let me step back here. From Montebello University in Alabama. And I went to the office of the activities director. He said, sure, come down the next day. I got a perfect spot for you right outside the lunch place. So I come back the next day and I said, well, let me try a black piece. Maybe we could try a black piece. Well, what happened is the night before, a girl committed suicide. So this is a grieving piece. This is people who are grieving, who they let their emotions out in this art piece, and it touched me, that I could be where God wanted me. And yes, you can see it is an amazing art piece. They did some awesome work on it. And I think the emotion of grief pushed it out of them. It brought it out of them, that they could be part of something. So often we forget that when we're creative, it's a great way to relieve stress. It's a great way to relieve our grief. It's a great way to communicate with God, because you're creating, because He's the great creator. And let me keep going. All right, now this one here is kind of special. This one here was last year. I did this up at Yukon. It's kind of light because I forgot to spray it, and I sprayed it now, but it's kind of light, but it's still in not too bad shape. It's got a lot of red on it, and any of these art pieces, you want to try to get all the background color out. Now the next one is, this one here is one of many that I don't know where it's from. I believe it's from Florida, because of down the bottom down there. I believe it's from Florida. Down the bottom they got the scenery down there. And a lot of times in these sceneries, there's 3 or 4 people who draw on that. I like this one. See, this is where I'm part of these art pieces. Someone drew a head down there without a body. And I don't mind that, because my objective is to get somebody to come up and put a body on it. I don't care what kind of body it is. Well, they've decided to do a draft body. And look at down the bottom, got the elephants on it. You got that guy there too. Wow, that's kind of cool. This is really a nice art piece, and I don't know where it's from. That's why I'm doing these, so I can get them out there so people could see them. Thousands of people, someone drew on this and never seen the ending of it. They draw on these art pieces, and I'm glad I've done them, because to me they're part of America's history. I really believe so. Some other people might not, but that's okay. I know I traveled across the nation letting people imagine together, and believing that people will take the idea home to do one with their families. When you have the birthdays, the anniversaries, the holidays, take that time to put something up and let everybody have fun together. So 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now, they're still going to have that art piece. Look at that bird in the middle. Wow. And this one's from Knoxville, Tennessee. This was done on a street, right on the street there. The next one's Notre Dame. Yep, Notre Dame in Indiana. Now, I couldn't get a great art piece because they would not let me on campus. So I had to go to a street that was next to the campus, where 9 out of 10 people walking by were students anyway. So we did this one in one day. I was kind of disappointed they wouldn't let me on college. You know, I'm a Christian doing ministry work, but that's okay. It's a Catholic school. And they did some good work on it. Look at that flower. Wow. The only thing it needs is a bug. I usually get them to put a bug on there. A tree. Now the next one, we're off to the next one, and the next one is a beauty. This one was done in Iowa, University of Iowa, and it's beautiful. I mean, they did some incredible work on this one. A lot of depth in it, and most of the white's gone. Notice most of the white is out of it. Look at her down there. Hey, I got quiet. I like the flower up there, the horses. Those are good. There's a lot of good stuff on this one. And like I said before, most of these students, they were drawn on it at a certain moment, and then bam, they're gone. They don't see the finished product and how beautiful they turn out. Now we're coming over to the last one of today that I'm going to show you. This one here is William Penn University. Now William Penn is a I believe it's an engineering school, and it's in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Iowa. And I thought I'd stop and do it, and they let me do it. And this one here has some decent artwork on it. A lot of the blue are still in it, but they took their time. They had fun. They relieved some of their stress. I really like doing these during finals week. Whoa, that's when they really get good. So now you're seeing it, and there's Betty. Here's another art piece that we've done. Come on down. I'm down here at Seminole Christian Fellowship at the corner of 131st Street and 102nd. Over in Seminole or Largo, one of the two over here. Come on down, have some fun, and also be part of an art piece we're doing also. Thank you very much, and Jesus bless y'all.